We do have an issue with the gymnasium floor in that it squeaks. The reason for the squeaking, we just had a third party come in and do a whole analysis and testing on the floor, and they have a whole report that we actually are going to be talking about, and the meeting is happening in parallel to this one. So I don't have the full report or what the actions are from it yet. I will later on tonight. But the main reason for the squeaking is it's the hardware that the way this floor is installed. There's this new technology, and there's this post that goes into the floor, and it has this like nylon gasket that it goes in, and it's the friction between the two. It's making the noise, something to that effect. I'm sure there's other things. The report called out other things that they were questioning. So the vendor who installed the flooring has not been paid yet. We don't intend to pay them until we have a resolution in place. Okay? So we're going to figure out how to make sure that we don't have squeaking forever. And if we don't have resolution to that path, we're just not going to pay them. So we first need to figure out what the problem is. We need to figure out what the solution to the problem is, what the plan is. They are telling us, well, it needs, 2 years worth of settling before you can say that there wasn't. I'm like, so you want to wait 2 years to get paid? Okay, it's fine by me. We'll wait 2 years to get paid, but I don't think that they want that either. So, like I said, we were having a discussion this evening on, they're probably talking about it right now, on what the move forward plan is, and then.
Roseanne, is the gym usable?
Oh yeah, it's usable. Yeah, so there's a. I know there were some committees that were asking to use it for events and stuff, and they've been kind of turned away only because we wanted to get all of our testing done. We don't want to compromise the floor until we knew exactly what the situation was with it. And there is some settlement that has to happen first. We just wanted to make sure that we're giving it the best chance to do its thing before we put heavy traffic on there. But it is usable. Their kids are playing. They're having gym every day and playing basketball and doing volleyball, whatever they're doing in there. So completely usable. It's just annoyance right now. It's just squeaky. The auditorium stage is made of the same technology, so it too has spots where it squeaks. So whatever the solution is for the gymnasium will be the solution for the stage as well. Was there any other concerns or rumors you heard that you would like some clarification on?
If I may.
Yes.
About 3 weeks, if not 4 weeks ago, I went to the general office, the sidewalk going into the general office.
Yep.
I received what I went there to get, and when I was leaving, I noticed just before I got to the curb, got a good-sized hairline crack in the brand-new concrete.
Yeah.
And I understand, don't know if this is true, but possibly a roof leaking too?
There was a roof leak after the huge storm we had a couple of weeks ago. Was it last week? 2 weeks ago? That Thursday, whatever that big Thursday, it was like 3 inches of rain overnight. We did find one leak that was over the media center. They have since located the leak, fixed it, and they are repairing the media center. So they take those leaks very seriously, and they were very prompt to fixing it and making sure it doesn't happen again. There was not a leak, but there was something about the roof over the central office that they also fixed. I think something was coming in. It was a bird or something. They found some hole, whatever. They fixed it. So with this building this size, you're going to find like little things here and there, and that's why we have, a warranty on the building to find these things. And, but, considering how much rain we got there to have one leak, I thought it was pretty good. Some buildings, see a lot worse. So, what matters is how they reacted to it, and they were very prompt and addressed it immediately without even being told to, which is good.
It also looks like the retention ponds seem to be working as of now.
Yeah, they're
which
working
is
like
good.
they're supposed to. Yeah.
Okay.
Which is good. It's going to make all the soccer families happy, so we're not going to have flooded soccer fields because it's draining the way it's supposed to drain. Oh, there was also some stuff on social media about how, like, some neighbors' backyards are flooding. That was not true. They actually went and walked all the neighbors' yards. There was no flooding in those yards. There was some water that was building up along the softball field. and that was because they had just seeded the field around, and they had to put the silt traps in to prevent the seeds from like flowing into the drains, and you don't want
Yep.
grass growing in your drains, so you have to put these silt traps in. And basically, what happened was those traps got full, and the water had nowhere to go because of the timing of it all. So they took those traps, they cleared them out, they put them back. The water drained immediately after that, like it was supposed to do. And within like a day, I think that retention pond was dry again. So it was doing just what it's supposed to do. It was perfect.
Can I have one more? Yeah. Roseanne, number one, thank you for the time you volunteered on that. I had a couple people ask me the mascot emblem that's up on the back of the building.
Yes.
Is that where it's supposed to be? 'Cause some
They're
people-
all over the building. So the one in the back
Yeah.
faces a softball field. So when you have softball games, you kind of have like the team spirit. There's none in the front of the building, and we did that intentionally because we wanted the Cromwell Middle School to stick out. We didn't want a symbol, because then people won't know what the symbol is, or the icon is, whatever you want to call it. But if you look through the front doors, especially at night, you'll actually see the falcon hanging over on the front window. It's actually kind of cool. You'll see it like kind of highlighted. And we do have on the gymnasium wall, you have the big emblem. The gymnasium wall is missing the claw marks. They're coming. They just weren't in on time. So the full emblem will be on the gymnasium wall within the next couple months or so when they get that fixed.
Thank you.
Any,
The claw marks, you mean? The falcon. Oh, where, in the back of the school? Which one are you talking about? The one, no, it does. It's like at the bottom. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's in there.
any other questions for Rosanna? What are you gonna do with all your spare time when 8 months or a year when this is done? I wonder, I
Steve
think-
roped me into the events committee,
I think it's time to appoint you to another commission, but I think tonight we'll make sure that you're backed up for all time, with new stuff to do.
Well, Steve knows who she is.
Steve knows. Steve, have you met Rosanna? She's gonna be appointed potentially to your commission tonight. I hope you endorse her.
Did we talk the events committee stuff already?
Yeah.
All right. I know someone
Yeah,
like. oh,
he was talking about the update for the community events committee before you came in.
Okay, all right.
So we got our next project for you.
All right,
But I mean, I've thanked you in other forums too, but I want to thank you again for the work and the dedication that you've given as a leader of a volunteer committee overseeing the largest construction project in the town's history. I know you deal with big projects at work all the time, but you've decided to give 3+ years of your life to yet another project that's going to have an impact for a century or more for the town. So, I want to thank you so much for all the
Oh.
work that you've done.
I had a really good building committee. You guys picked good people to be on the building committee, so they made it easy.
Yeah, and so as we work out the final bumps of our landing, it's been a pretty smooth flight overall. So, congratulations on the achievement again.
Thank you. All right.
Are there any other commission chairmen? Oh, Steve.
Just, actually, this is probably not related, but I just noticed on the agenda that as much as I'd like Rosanna to be a regular member, we already have 7. So Rosanna was gonna be an alternate.
Sure, we can
So
amend that when we
sure
get there. Thank you, Steve. Okay, next is the mayor's update. So I'm sorry, I was bad, I didn't type it out, but I will type it out and get it over to you. We had a really busy month of October. Couple of highlights. We had the tree dedication ceremony for former Mayor Alan Spotts. I want to thank Lou and the Tree Warden Association for donating that tree in his memory. It was a very, very nice ceremony. I think Lou commented that sometimes he goes to those ceremonies and there's just a couple people there, but there was a good crowd out there to memorialize and celebrate Alan. And I think the location is really fitting, and it's going to grow into a beautiful tree, and it's in a great location. Also in October, I did the Trick or Trunk. I was one of the judges. The trunks were really creative this year, both from the nonprofits and the student groups that participated. It was really great to see all of the community come out for that event. Throughout the course of the month as well, we did have a meeting with the town manager, Lou, and the head coach of the Chill soccer group, the football group, and Jim Vincetti, who does the Little League, to talk about field conditions, and we are in the process of, Amanda, the Google Doc's not online yet, right? Not yet? Yeah, okay. So we shortly will be having online for the coaches to fill out a field assessment tool so that they can, when the coaches get to the fields, they can fill out a field assessment tool to assess how the fields are, and that information is going to be sent to Lou and his staff directly, so that way they have a real-time kind of analysis of how the fields are doing and what needs attention and maintenance, and it kind of gives them a real, finger in the wind kind of idea of how everything is being done and what maybe needs some special attention. And we're also going to be doing some site walks towards the end of the playing season, just kind of get prepared for the next season. And I thought it was a really productive conversation. One of the things we talked about too was like, what would they like, what is their, if they had a magic wand, what would they want? And if they didn't have a magic wand, what is something that they need? And so those were some helpful conversations. The baseball team, Little League, pointed out that some of the fences are getting towards the end of their useful life and need to be repaired. There's this issue with one of the scoreboards, and we talked about which one would you prefer, fences or a scoreboard, and I think fences is more of the priority there. And then we talked about general just continuing to work on our drainage improvement plans, and the Chill soccer team is really focused on improvements for the WIS fields. As we know, we have a plan that we're working on that on our end. But all in all, I thought it was a really productive meeting to be able to meet with the group. I had a meeting with the former, or potentially soon to be former Tri-Board facilities group to talk about some goals and expectations for this year's budget. We've asked Claudio to outline a list of the priorities for 2026-2027's fiscal year by December for our long-range capital planning meeting. After the long-range capital planning meeting, of course, it goes into the town manager's recommendations that we then get in February. So we're moving along with that, and then hopefully next year, the Building and Facilities Committee will be able to help Claudio develop that list and kind of workshop the priorities in a little more finesse and detail. But they're going to have a list of priorities put together for us. I attended the Veterans Day event yesterday in Town Hall, or Tuesday, yeah, that's yesterday, in Town Hall. It was a really lovely ceremony. Once again, our students came in and really provided great music for the event. And I think in the future, one of the things I'm going to be working with Joe, the new postmaster, is getting and making sure that we get as many people as we can to come and attend those events. I want every seat filled in the future. So we're going to work together to do that. And I've told him that as he assumes his post leadership, that we're here to be his partners and support him and his veteran community. If he has any ideas or concepts that he wants to bring to us, please do, so we can try to implement them. I did share with them the August tax abatement proposals that we passed. They weren't aware of that, so they were very happy to hear of those changes. And then otherwise, those are my major updates. Does anyone have any questions for me on anything? Okay, hearing none. I do have two other ones. I'm sorry. One of the Connecticut State Legislature is in special session right now. And one of the things they're reconsidering is the housing bill that we had written the letter about in the spring about some of our concerns. I'm pleased to say that a lot of the most concerning parts have been removed. The parking requirements lack of parking requirements have been removed. The as of right zoning has been removed. Some of the penalties, like taking away our ability to get steep grants, have been removed, and it's been restructured into a kind of more carrot than stick approach, wherein they will try to incentivize certain types of development in exchange for some, waivers on other things. I've been talking to a lot of residents about it, and what I'll say is no bill is perfect. But we're not buying a car, we're buying a bus to get us from one place to another place. And so if it achieves some of the goals, which is, I think, an issue we all care about, which is making sure people can afford to live in the communities that they grew up in and be able to, be successful in their homes and be able to afford their homes, mixing it with the need for planning and development that is cohesive and coherent and respects the future residents and make sure that they're living in places that are nice to live in and that they can afford to live in. I think it's a balancing act. I know that we get complaints about parking at the high school, and we get parking on the side streets, and we get complaints about not enough parking spots in new developments. So I think the fact that they've taken away some of those things make it a stronger bill insofar that I think we'll be able to do a little bit more with it. And then also, I'm really pleased to see the inclusion of regional development councils, because I think having the regional development councils as partners at the table to address housing affordability is really important, and having them be part of, and stakeholders in helping us solve this crisis is really important too. So I'm really, compromise is sometimes a dirty word, but I think a compromise here has resulted in a bill that, at least as it's currently written, will make things better, not worse. And, we'll see what the legislators and all their wisdom do in the next couple days to change that. But from the initial assessment that I've gotten from cost and from CCM, I think it's a compromise that people are willing to live with. And then I'll kick it to my very good planning and zoning team and commission members to figure out now what, especially as we have a couple developments coming into town, making sure that we're balancing the need to develop with the need to ensure people have affordable places to live. And then the other thing is I'm going to be talking with the election folks, Alice and Bonnie, to talk about how long the early voting lasted this year. There's been some feedback in some municipalities that early voting for 2 weeks is a little bit too long and it's expensive to fund. It's $30,000 to fund that. And while we had, I think it was 700 people come out. Is it 700? Was it 700, Alice? Can you nod? 650 people came out over the course of the 2 weeks, which is great. And again, I fully support early voting. I think a week would probably have been sufficient for an off-year municipal election and a weekend versus 2 weekends and another week before that. I just think as a matter of cost, we need to make sure that we're using our dollars as effectively as possible. And they had some days that 5 or 6 people came out to vote in the beginning. So to have 4 or 5 staff people waiting, who are temp staff people waiting for somebody to come, I think we need to strike the balance. And I think early voting's great. Obviously, 700 people did it, so it was good utility for them. We want to keep that option, but I think I will be reaching out to folks at the state to see if there's maybe in off-year municipal elections, the window can be a little shorter somehow. I don't know what they can do. No, I'm seeing a no. Well, I'll reach out anyways and see if there's any powers on high that can help, or if they want to keep funding it fully, and they want to send us checks, then God bless them. I'll take the state money. But Alice, you want to address that at all, or are you good? You're just waving at me.
Kelly, Registrar of Voters. 14 days is just too long. 10 days would be great, only one weekend. But when you start mixing it, that municipal would be only this much. Presidential be this much. Oh, no.
Okay, it needs to all be the same. That's fine.
Right.
I just think that the 2 weeks is really burdensome on you and your staff, and hiring the temporary employees and making sure, because they have to be there every single day if they sign up for it, right?
Oh, yeah, right. But also, I just think that 14 days and 2 weekends, because in 10 days, we have 2 nights, 2 days that are from 8 in the morning to 8 at night, a Tuesday and a Thursday. All the others are from 10 to 6, even on Saturday and Sunday. One weekend would be fine. I mean, let's make it that you do have a responsibility on your own to get yourself out and to get out and vote. We don't have to be sitting there saying please come,
Although your video is very popular.
Well, it did bring somebody out, but it came out. But we need to have it be 10 days. So push for 7 days would be great. I won't be greedy. 10 days would be fine. And 1 weekend. But I mean, you really and truly, have to. And I just think that, it has worked up very well. We've not had anybody not like it up here. And it just goes through. We're like a well-oiled machine. But the machine does get tired.
Understood.
And I mean, let's face it, we need to have a lot of younger people. And I'm saying this because, I'm an old car. And I mean, but you have to look at it. You have to get people to come in and to have the younger people step up and become really active, become involved. And that means, but I really have to say thank you to you people that you've given us everything that we've always needed. We got our wonderful privacy boots and things like that. We don't have to worry about anybody falling. But, I mean, you've always backed us in whatever we need, and for that, I have to say thank you.
Absolutely.
Because I have to say is there are other places that we hear horror stories. And we just sit here with a smile because we don't have that here.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Alice, for your service to the town. Okay, moving on to the town manager's report. Mr. Town Manager, Tony. Unless anyone has questions for me. I've talked long enough, but any questions for me? No? Tony, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Had a meeting with the other CEOs of Middletown, Portland, and East Hampton with the Commissioner of DOT regarding roundabouts on Route 9 and the one that we'll be getting at the south end of Main Street. At that meeting, I continued to express a request for a northbound ramp for Route 9, and I also requested that they, as part of the project, look at addressing our drainage problem along Route 9 with regards to the brook between South Street and the south end of Main Street, trying to convince them that it possibly could affect what they're doing with regards to the roundabout down by Frisbee Park. So they told me they would take a look at it, and I asked them I'd like a little bit more than just look at it. I'd like you to do it. And so, as they said, we always say we'll consider. And so they are hopefully going to look at it. And I think, in all honesty, it probably should be part of the project because of the potential for flooding with regards to the new roundabout eventually when they do put it in down there. And it would be the appropriate time, in my opinion, also, that that work could get done in that area along with this project. But we'll wait and see, and I'll continue to request that from them. Can't say enough about staff, the directors, and Amy Sada, along with the nutritional grant. We also got notified that a bus that we put in for in February of '25, we will be receiving. We got a grant, 80/20, so we'll be ordering a new bus for the senior center also. We're having a meeting tomorrow, Public Works, Lou and John, Wes and Sampson are the field advisors for the WIS. Hopefully they come up with some solutions that possibly we could bring back to you that we could attempt to try on the fields out there. But we do have a meeting tomorrow, and it should be very interesting. And last, you might have noticed that we, along with AARP, a grant for the Rose Garden, all the pavers are in, and now we'll be attempting to do some planting in the spring. And my goal is to put some perennials as well as annuals. Not only roses, I understand the Rose Garden, but some other type of attractive, colorful flowers, so that there's some color in there, and potentially the mayor found a person that's a master gardener, so we can get some help and continue to monitor that so that it doesn't fall into the condition that it did fall into, because it really looks nice. Public Works came in. Lou found some money that we were able to finish the pavers up to the asphalt walkway, and Lou decided that the asphalt walkway should be, the grade should rise, so we did that also, and we'll probably do some grading and then hopefully do some planting and irrigation. wanna make it look really nice, some attractive, and we'll move some benches down there that we have as a result of the plastic, collection. And, that's it, unless someone has a question.
Any questions for the town manager?
I have a question.
I'll start with Julia.
Whenever I tell my husband the traffic lights are gonna be removed, and he laughs at me always, do you have a ballpark for that, when they're gonna be removed, or not,
Traffic lights.
on Route 9?
Oh, Route 9? Do you really wanna know?
Well,
Well, they're talking, probably somewhere around 2030.
oh, okay.
If, well, I know the new mayor, I talked with him, he appears to be in support of it, of Middletown, and, some of the businesses are still opposed,
And I mean, like, it's not like, I understand like in Florida, for example, when they built the overpasses, a bunch of businesses closed because you can no longer pull off and pull on. There's nobody, and not a lot of people, I would say, that say, I'm gonna stop at Amato's Toy Shop because there's a light on this highway. Like, I don't think it's the same drive-by traffic that other places have, which have installed overpasses have suffered from, right? Those are places that, it's like turning the Berlin Turnpike into a freeway, where you have to get off of it. That would be a problem, because the businesses are right there alongside it. Other than the bridge, I mean, the lights are a nuisance.
these are the worst.
And they
these are
cause
some
so
of the
many
worst
accidents.
Intersections for crashes in the state.
They're dangerous.
And if you go up to other states, the roundabouts actually, these are not the large roundabouts, they'll be the small, they actually work, and I think it would actually, number one, it's a lot safer, and I think it would be more efficient with regards to vehicles entering, instead of waiting for a traffic signal. However, that's where we stand. The other thing that is being looked at is the potential of lighting the Aragoni Bridge. And the cost, the maintenance, I'd like to see colored lights so that, on July 4th, it could be red, white, and blue, and on Christmas, green and red, or whatever. But, because it's such a beautiful bridge, and unique, and, so that is being looked at. It was looked at a couple of times in the past, unsuccessfully, but hopefully, because it definitely would be, a destination where people would come to see that.
And who would pay for the lights if it were lit?
Yeah, there'd have to be probably some kind of committee or something, probably between, something would have to, and then, somehow it would,
Oh, Portland and Middletown.
I don't know. At any rate, that's all I have. Other than, I did give you an informational, as, on the basis of that meeting with the commissioner, and it's in your packet.
Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Waters.
Tony, you hit on a couple of very good things. One is that drain, the water drain. I'm glad you brought it up, because most of that water that's going down through the brook is coming from catch basins off of Main Street. So that should not even be our responsibility to correct that problem. That should be theirs 100%. Where you had mentioned, where we've been talking about this for years, where we have to get environmental, the whole bit. That should be their job, because the water's coming from them. And naturally, we're suffering for it, for what we have done. That whole area looks terrible. But I appreciate you mentioning that. The other thing is, I don't know who responsibility it is. It's possibly the highway maintenance garage possible, I'm not sure. But you have a senior bus out there. It's, yes. Yes.
I've requested that that vehicle be removed, and I see that it was still out there.
It is it needs
Yeah.
a wash job, if anything. It's
No,
terrible.
that vehicle's going. That vehicle should be removed out to the highway.
I agree with you,
Yeah,
because
so-
all the rest of them look real nice, except that one. It makes the rest of the fleet
Yeah,
look,
I requested that last week. Before that.
Al, where is it?
We'll
Out
get
here?
it, we'll get it out of there.
no, but it's just,
Now, it's been requested to be removed and placed out at the highway facility in preparation of being sold. So we'll get it out of there.
okay, and, that's it for now, but thank you very much for that. But please take in consideration what I mentioned about the water coming from the Main Street,
I'll use
catch
whatever
basin.
I can against them.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
Any other questions for the town manager? I wanted to ask about, I know you did an investigation into the bleachers, and we didn't put it as a specific agenda item. I don't know if you're prepared to talk about it at this meeting, or if you want to wait till the next meeting to present your findings regarding the bleachers for the capital non-reoccurring expense that we allocated for the high school track bleachers.
Actually, I don't want to put Lou on the spot, but I think it's been addressed, right?
Yes.
It's been corrected, right? Yeah, so when Lou gets up, we
We
can,
can go through them, yeah.
we have knowledge and, it can be addressed.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Town
If I
Manager.
may, also regarding the bleachers, I guess they're not handicap accessible?
We didn't have anything to do with.
No,
No, I know it, but I figured I would mention it because it was brought to my attention. They did put more of a concrete pad out,
Yeah.
sidewalk, which is great. Now they can change it. But there's no places for handicap, like wheelchair
Yeah,
people.
I
to stand,
understand.
which-
Yep.
Yeah, one of the, somebody told me that too, and I understand that now with bleachers, you're supposed to have a pad on both sides, or at least one of the sides, so that somebody in a wheelchair can be adjacent to the bleachers and not standing in the side, or sitting in the sidewalk, and I guess these bleachers don't have the appropriate space, nor are they, I guess they're staggered a little strangely, so there's like a light post in the middle of the viewing platform too. But, the wheelchair thing is also something somebody just brought to my attention, so, I'm aware of it as well. Okay, so we'll move on to, town council liaison reports. I guess we'll start with our left, Ms. Paula. How many expecting parents did you think attended? I was really pleased to see that event getting put on.
I don't know, I was wandering
Okay.
around, you know.
There was quite a few.
Yeah.
There were, it was really great, there were vendors, there were tons of baby clothes, there were car seats, the police department was here showing how to install car seats, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, Officer Pete
No, I was
was here. Oh, you were there? Yeah, that's right, you were there,
And were you?
yes. Yes.
For those of you who don't know what Paula's talking about, the Youth Services Department put on a community-wide baby shower that provided free clothing and other items and as well as vendors that provided information, presentations to expecting parents in the community. And I think now more than ever, having community events like that where we support young parents and I mean, I've never been a parent of anything other than a dog, but I imagine to the parents that are sitting to my left and right, you know, it's scary being a new parent, and it's scary about all the things that you think you know and the things you don't think you know, and the things you don't know, and especially with the shutdown, a lot of families were negatively impacted by that, and having uncertainty about, well, can we afford clothing or food for our child, or even where do we go for resources. So having an event like that, I just give so many kudos to the Youth Services Department
Oh, yeah.
for organizing such a fabulous community event where we, put the community first and make sure new families feel supported.
And the fire department was there and gave a talk on, well, I'm not really sure, I didn't go in to listen, but I don't know, fire alarms maybe, smoke alarms. It was and our health director was there, and she talked as well it was really great.
I love it. And speaking of our health director, she also she coordinated with the fire department for those vaccine clinics, which were very
Yes.
successful as well.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Waters.
I'm not done.
Oh, you're not done. Miss Luna, continue. I'm sorry, I interrupted you, so.
On November 10th, I attended the senior commission meeting. On November 10th, I also went to the Cromwell Cultural District Committee meeting, and the commission is currently updating the cultural district application so it can be resubmitted to the state for approval, which is a very time-consuming, detailed process, and the commission hopes to file it sometime in December with the state and see what happens after that. Now I'm done.
Thank you. Mr. Waters, Deputy Mayor.
You're getting better. Not saying you were bad to begin with. There's not too much I can report. Next Wednesday, the EDC, they're gonna have their quarterly business of the month, and they have two of them this particular time coming up. One is the tailor shop above Willowbrook Plaza, and the other one is the tattoo parlor on Main Street, across from the ice cream parlor. Nothing has been happening so far with the old Red Roof, even though there's new owners, and we don't know when they're gonna start. I know they wanna be ready for the spring, to put the shovel in, but we've been told a lot of things about that place that was gonna start, but just seems to never, mature. The other thing is, if you notice, Popeyes has got itself closed in now finally, and you got the heat going in there. So it probably could be up and running by December, because I get sick or tired of going to Meriden to buy that stuff. It is good. Oh, you'll love it. You'll love it.
good
You'll
fried
love it.
chicken.
You'll love it. It's good. The only other thing I could say, if I may, and this is the patriotic part. On December 13th, the veterans and people, citizens, we're having Reefs Across America on Saturday, December 13th at Middletown Veterans Cemetery. I know they just put the flags up this past Saturday. They put up a couple thousand flags there. And those flags will be being taken down in a matter of a week or two. It's just basically for Veterans Day when they put them up. But it's something to see when you get all these people together that have warm hearts, willing to go down there, no matter what the temperature is, freezing, that they're willing to go out there and lay wreaths against the headstones of all the people, all the service people, and their wives, family. But I would like to hopefully see some people from Cromwell come down there and participate. There are some that do, but I think Cromwell would probably love it itself too. It's something to be heartwarming. That's about it.
Al, on that point, I did receive an invitation today from Wreaths Across America for a December 9th, 1 p.m. ceremony at Wallingford Town Hall. And I'll email everybody that invitation. We were invited to join the welcoming of the Wreaths Across America as they escort to Arlington National Cemetery. The New Haven Marines and Associates and the town of Wallingford are hosting the full ceremony honoring veterans, and they're having their ceremony on December 9th at 1 p.m. as part of their Wreaths Across America program. It's the quote, escort to Arlington National Cemetery. So I think that's in advance of the that weekend, which will be for the.
Right, because because the one in Middletown, that is quite big.
Yep.
Quite big. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Hennahan.
The one piece I went through last month that was very interesting was the Board of Finance. And the Board of Finance deliberations around the track and the issues with the track and what was gonna happen. And it went on for a long time for anyone who either was there or was watching as I was. But they came to a conclusion to approve, and that, from my perspective, we needed that. There were some terrific speakers, many of them students who are asking for help in this particular area because these are young people who are trying to make a name for themselves in the track and field area, and this is going to give us and them an opportunity to continue, for them to continue to improve, and who knows, maybe ultimately get a scholarship or something that will help them out later on. So it was a project, and it did finally end. So that's good.
Jack, I was running on the track last weekend. What's wrong with it? It seemed pretty good to me.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's not, what,
One of the lanes is closed.
Side lane.
The inside lane is closed
Oh.
because of cracks and unevenness, so it can't be used for competition.
And there are some areas where you could actually be injured. So
And-
you
Really?
must have ran in an area that was very safe.
just around, you know?
No, Miss Julie, on the inside track,
Yeah.
the inside, where it goes towards the infield, a lot of that rubber has
Oh.
come up.
Go,
Okay.
I was up there last month and checked that.
Yep.
Is dangerous, and I know they blocked it off, but it's scary. But I'm glad to see that, if not mistaken, the
Just
Board
be
of
careful.
Education came around.
I don't run on the inside, because that's
Okay,
for
all
people
right.
who are really fast,
Yeah.
anyway, so, yeah.
Yeah.
Try to stay the outer.
And I think you went to one of the building committee meetings?
Not in the last month.
Okay.
I went to the tree planting ceremony, which was lovely, and I hope to go to the Conservation Commission meeting next week on the 20th.
And then Julia?
Paula really put me to shame, because I have nothing to report, but I do plan to go to the zoning meeting next week.
A couple things for that I'd like to add to these liaison reports. I've spoken with Jamin DeProto, who's the chair of the Conservation Commission, about his efforts and the team's efforts and Stu Popper's efforts to get us that certification for CT Sustainable. They're actively working on that. He had some proposed language that is now with Stuart for open space policies that we could adopt, about if there's excess town money from a sale of town property, that the money could be put back into an open space fund. And we already have something like it, but trying to create more rules for how that works, and he has some really great ideas, and I know Stuart is working on that with him. Rosanna texted me, and she said she forgot to mention the $500,000 Eversource reimbursement, and I think that Eversource is reimbursing us $500,000. So that is good news, and we should be getting the check by the end of the year. And then, like Paula said, the Cultural District Commission is working on finessing its application. There were some notes that the state sent back to us. They want to, one of the decisions the commission made was to make the Cultural District span the entire length of Main Street, and the state wanted it to be a, quote, walkable and accessible district. And one of the things that we're gonna push back on just a little bit to the state is that walkable and accessible doesn't necessarily mean compact, that we have businesses up and down Main Street that are culturally diverse and rich in background. You have everything from Gardener's Dreams and Tony's Flower Shop and Nostalgia to the TPC to the businesses of the strictly speaking downtown. And so, we're going to try to better articulate why our vision for that is all of Main Street and why we want to highlight Main Street as a cultural attraction for the town and for the region. And so we're working on that. Also, one of the things they require us is to catalog every single asset and attraction that is in that strip of area. So we're just maintaining and updating that list. Kelly, who had resigned because of she's completed the majority of the application and wants to move on after some diligent work, helped catalog every single business asset along that route, and the PowerPoint is just outstanding. So I'm hoping that will move forward. We also did have, for the LGBT committee, its last official meeting, which was for our coming out day ceremony, or an event. And it was a really great, reflectful conversation at Tony's Flower Shop, and we're happy to have Tony to host us. The committee is dissolving because they just don't feel that they have enough active membership to be able to sustain themselves, but I am pleased to say that the Connecticut Lions have started a Middlesex LGBTQ service group that is going to be working in Middlesex County, and they have held their first 2 meetings here in Cromwell, and they will be looking to help provide support for the LGBT community through their 501c3 nonprofit status. So for those of you who were interested in the town committee, hopefully the Lions nonprofit will be able to take some of that work, and then also our DEI committee is going to take some of the lift off as well. So those are all the liaison reports that I can think of. And so we will then move on to our finance report. Our finance director is on a much needed vacation before the craziness of the budget season, but in your packet you will see the budget report as well as 2 CNR, or one CNR request and another request. So starting with the first one, it's a review and approve a CNR request to transfer the funds from CNR item 77457 to 77458 to complete 2 town projects. There is a memo from the finance director on that, and I'll let the town manager expand where appropriate on that.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is for Public Works, and Lou has a project that he wants to finish, and the differences are almost exactly what the extra was in the other projects. So he has requested that basically we transfer that to 77458 to complete the 2 projects.
Any discussion or questions on that? Hearing none, can I have a motion to approve the transfer from that one account to the other account? And Amanda will write that to be the numbers. Motion made by Al. Second by Jack. Any further discussion on that? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Opposed, abstention, motion carries unanimously. Next, we have a request for the DUI enforcement grant, looking for $20,161.01 from the capital non-reoccurring fund to fund this grant, which will be 100% refundable, and I'll turn to our chief of police.
So I'm in front of you again this year to request $20,161.01 for our annual DUI enforcement we do through the grant. It's 100% reimbursable. We're a little earlier this year because of the holidays. We want to get a head start and start the roving patrols before the holidays begin. It's 100% reimbursable. I plan on going to the Board of Finance at the end of the month for their approval once it's approved by you.
Okay, any questions for the chief? Hearing none, all those in, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the proposition, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Do we need a motion? We need a motion. I'm sorry. Can I have a motion to approve the, I skipped a step. May I have a motion to approve the appropriation of the 2025-2026 DUI law enforcement grant in the amount of $20,161.01, 1 cent, from the non-reoccurring fund? Motion made?
Motion approved.
Second? Okay. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion carries unanimously. Next, tax refunds. Mr. Waters.
I make a motion to accept 21 requests for tax refunds coming from the tax collectors, the Board of the Finance Department.
Okay, I have a motion made by Al. Do I have a second? Second by Jack. Any further discussion on that? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, abstention, motion carries unanimously. Next, we have our Chief of Police update. Chief?
Good evening. So you should have the reports in front of you. I just wanted to highlight tomorrow morning at 8:30, myself, the town manager, Captain Penn, Sergeant Bankston, and Officer Jones will be heading out to post. In Meriden, where we will be receiving our Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 full accreditation. So we have met the Police Accountability Bill back in 2020, where we had until 2025 to become fully accredited. So I'm proud to say that we are fully state accredited, and we'll receive our award tomorrow. So we'll be doing that. Thank you. I want to make one correction for the Coffee with a Cop. It is at Starbucks from 10 to 1, not 10 to 3. So that's my mistake. So it should be 10 to 1. It's a lot of coffee.
What's the date on it?
That is November 18th, next week, at the Starbucks in Cromwell. I want to also add that, as you know, we were selling those pink stickers last month with our patches. The PVA was able to raise and donate $500 to the Susan G. Gorman Foundation. So I'm very happy to say that. We are preparing for Shop with a Cop in December, and we're also preparing for the annual Giving Tree, which will also be coming up soon for our December. So with that being said, any questions?
Chief, I just wanted to, I don't know if I shared this story with you. When I was poll standing on Election Day, a resident came up to me, and she said, you know, I just love your police department. And she said, you know, she was a person of color, and she said, my daughter was afraid in 2020, 2021, 2022, somewhere in that range, of police officers. And I brought her down to the police department, and she met Bane, and the police dog, and that she had a meet and greet with him, and they made her an honorary officer of the town and gave her a little badge. Awesome. And she says now every time she sees a Cromwell police car, she waves, and she gets so excited, and it's and that it turned around what she had of apprehension and fear into like love and adoration, and she loves the Cromwell Police Department. And the mom said that as a mother, you know, they moved here from New York City, and you know, they didn't have a great relationship with the PD down in New York, but they feel like the PD here in town really cares, and now she sees the PD. She saw the police officers at Trick or Trunk, and she sees them here, and she sees them there, and she, you know, she just wanted to praise you and your department for going above and beyond. And you know, she said that her daughter still talks about, you know, I was a honorary police officer of the town, and she loved meeting Bane. So I just want to thank you for, you know, cultivating that culture, and your predecessor too for cultivating that culture. I really think it goes a long way that you guys are doing all these events for the community. You're doing Giving Trees, you're doing Shop with a Cop, you're doing Coffee with a Cop, you're at the schools, you're having FaceTime, you're at Trick or Trunk, you're at the tree lighting, you're at the Veterans Day event. Like, I think it's so important that our officers integrate themselves into the community so much, and that the community embraces them back. So thank you so much.
And I would agree, and I appreciate the thank you, but as you know, I'm only one. It's the men and women of the entire police department, from police officers to the records to administrative assistants to dispatchers. It's the entire department, so thank you very much.
Sir, it also takes a leader to start that.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, any other questions for the Chief of Police? Okay, hearing none. Thank you, Chief. We'll now move on to our Public Works Director update on all things Public Works. Lou.
Good evening. You have my bullet points in front of you. I'll just expand on a couple. Town manager brought to your attention that we are meeting with Weston and Sampson tomorrow, and you know, we're anxious to hear what recommendations and suggestions they may have for some improvements there. With that said, I want to recognize the park staff. They've been doing a really good job of overseeding and aerating the last couple of years, and I believe it was last week or the week before, we got a 3-inch rainstorm over a 12 or 18-hour period, and I was afraid to drive in the next morning, quite honestly. And I took a ride by Wiss, you know, that was one of, you know, just check it out. And I was pleasantly surprised at how non-soaked it was. It really wasn't holding too much water. So kudos to Mike and his staff. They've been working hard, and I'm really, again, looking forward to hearing what Weston and Sampson has to say tomorrow, and hopefully we could make some difference there, or continue to make a difference there. Give you a bullet point on the leaf collection. It officially begins next Monday, and as usual, we'll spend the first week on the east side of Main Street. The second week of the 24th will be centralized, and then we move west. There are quite a bit of leaves out there already, so as we do every year, most days there's 2 crews out there even now, and on a lean day, we got 1 crew out there. So kudos to the highway staff. We're getting a jump on it, and I hope when we hit the ground with all 3 machines next week that we're able to get it all done before we hit any inclement weather. And then lastly, the town manager brought up the bleachers. I just want to say in the record, and I handed Tony a few-page report on it, or my perspective on it. It was not a public works project. We were asked to help assemble the bleachers when they came in, and we did that, and that's when we became aware of the problem. With that said, every cloud has a silver lining, and I heard comments earlier that there was concern about ADA compliance. Since the pads were oriented in the wrong direction, now that they have been corrected and there's been a few feet added on the front, when they turn them, you will have about 5 feet on both sides. So it should address the ADA issue, hopefully. And then in the spring, whether, I did speak briefly to Claudio, whether he elects to ask Public Works for assistance or have the contractor come back. You put the 5 feet sidewalk on the front, there should be 5 feet on 3 sides of those bleachers. So the ADA thing should be a lot less of a concern at that point. And that's really all I have.
Okay, any other questions for Lou? Mr. Waters?
Would you be so kind to take a ride out on Willowbrook Road in Evergreen and go by, you know where Mrs. Kelly lives?
I do.
Well, right after her house, I know there's a catch basin there, and it looks like a sinkhole over there.
On which side of the road?
On the south side.
Of Evergreen?
Yes.
Okay.
No, Willowbrook, I'm sorry.
So east or west going down? Right or
South.
left going?
On Willowbrook.
South.
Going past Mrs. Kelly's house, that's Willowbrook, heading towards 372.
Right or left?
Right, south side.
Okay. West side.
West side. Sorry.
Okay. East side, west side, north side, south side. No,
All
thank
around
you,
town.
thank you. And, a while ago, I had asked if it was possible to put on the Public Works or Town Engineer landing page, like a report a problem button that people could like submit a form that if, if there was like a flooding issue, pothole or a sinkhole, that they could go to the town website onto the town engineers or your landing page, whichever one, and say like submit a query or submit. I know there's like a generic like contact the town, but like a button that says that, report a problem. I don't know if there's been any progress on that. That was like a couple months ago, but
Yeah, I'll check tomorrow. I don't have an answer for that. But we do, in fact, this morning, people do utilize the email system if you have a concern.
Yep.
And today, I was on vacation Thursday, Friday, Monday. I returned today, and I checked an email, and a resident made me aware of a legit concern, and that, boom, went out there within 10 minutes. It was corrected. So
great.
that happens often. I mean, the residents are comfortable using what we have, but I'll certainly check into the
No, I appreciate it. Thank you, Lou.
added feature there.
Okay, any other questions for Lou? Hearing none, we'll move on to citizens' comments. Citizen comments are limited to 2 minutes per speaker. Please be respectful and state your name and your local address. So are there any citizens' comments? Are there any citizens' comments? Yep, come on up. Say your name and your home address.
Hello, Jonathan Silvestri, 13 Catherine Street. We just moved to Cromwell recently and just want to say thank you all for the work you guys are doing. It was a very appealing town to move to, and my wife and I are looking forward to being active citizens. So.
Oh my gosh, we're
Thank
so
you for
happy
the
to have you
comments.
here. Thank you. When did you move to town?
July.
Oh my gosh, and one of the first things you want to do when it starts to get cold out is join us. So this is great. We are a town that has a really passionate group of community members, but as you can see, sometimes there's not a lot of us in the room. So we're always looking for people to come and volunteer for things. So watch out, because I will grab you for things and projects, and we have a lot of cool things happening right now here in town, and we are looking for busy hands that can help get things across the way. So welcome to town. We're happy to have you.
Welcome.
Other citizens' comments? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to unfinished business, discussion and adoption of the proposed Public Asset and Facility Committee ordinance. We had a public hearing on it. We've had discussion and debate on it since July. I just want to reiterate my support for it. When Rosanna brought the concept up and Steve and I workshopped it, initially we tried to have it into the charter, and then we were very ambitious with what the scope of what we wanted to. We met with town staff, we met with stakeholders, and I think we've moved it into something that we can all live with. I think this will be a really good committee to help us ensure that we are making critical investments in our infrastructure to ensure the long-term success and affordability of our town, and making sure that we're not waiting for something to fall down to fix it, but we are putting in the fixes along the way to make it better. I just wanted to state a couple things for the record. One question that I received, and I don't know if it was addressed all the way in the public hearing, was when somebody is a de facto member of the board or commission, it does say they don't count for the purpose of a quorum, but the question was raised, do they count for the purposes of voting? And I think the answer to that would be no. They can talk at the meetings, they can ask questions in the meetings, they have every right that every other member of the commission does, but they are not, from my understanding, de facto means that they are not voting members because they don't count for quorum. So I just wanted to put that on the record, that is the way I am interpreting it, and should there ever be a dispute and this becomes part of the legislative history that is used to interpret something that's ambiguous, I believe that was our legislative intent. Yeah, the point of saying they're not a member for the purposes of quorum is to say that they can't vote. But otherwise, I think, again, I want to thank Mike, I want to thank Steve, I want to thank Rosanna, I want to thank Stephen Heinzman, I want to thank Lou and John Harriman and Tony and Amanda for looking it over and workshopping it, because it really took, in this council, a long way to get here, and I think this will, once it's in effect 30 days after passage, next meeting, we can start appointing some people and hitting the ground running in January. So any further discussion or comments on the Public Asset and Facility Committee? Okay. Hearing none, I will take a motion to approve the ordinance as proposed.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we adopt the proposed Public Asset and Facility Committee.
Made by Jack. Second by Paula. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstention? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you all for your work on this. I think it's going to make a huge difference for the town, and I'm really proud of us for this. Okay, next we're moving to item M1, which is discuss and consider request from the Chief of Police. So Chief, do you want to explain your proposal to us?
Sure. Before I do, I just want to go back. When I was commenting about the members of the department and who does such a great job, I failed to mention an important division within the police department, and she goes out of her way to do so much for this community. That's Cheryl Gagnon, our animal control officer. So I just also want to say how much she does for this community as well, besides the police department, the officers, and everybody else, dispatchers and so forth. So just want to give her kudos, because she does so much for the police department.
Is she enjoying her new van?
She is. She is. She is.
It looks, and I want to thank you for doing the social media photos of the new van. I think it's really important that the public, I don't know if she took pictures of the old van that was falling apart and decrepit, but the fact that she has a professional vehicle to be able to help in her efforts with animal control and it's night and day. I mean, it is a worthwhile investment. And I'm glad that you guys did the social media push to show what people's tax dollars are going towards that. Now she is able to drive not in a beat up old car.
Absolutely.
And she has a facility.
Much more room now to have
Correct.
her office.
Correct.
So much more room, much more room. Do they have a copy of this? They do. Okay. So I'm sure many of you have heard rumors and many of you have heard things. with over 36 years in law enforcement, I've decided to look at my future and look at retirement coming up soon. Without giving you an official date yet, I still have a few months left. I've come to the town manager to request, I'll read it. With my upcoming departure from the Cromwell Police Department, I would like to formally request consideration for a partial payout of 25% of my accumulated sick time, unused sick time. While I understand that current policy provides sick time payout benefits for officers with 10 years of service, I hope the town will consider an exception in my case. Over the past 5 years, I have not used any of my sick time. I have made every effort to maintain excellent attendance and fulfill my responsibilities with dedication and professionalism. Considering this, I respectfully request that the town consider paying me out 25% of my unused sick time. So I'm here in front of
You haven't taken a single sick day?
No. I've come to work sick. You can ask the captain. It's just. So I have all my sick time. I have not used any of it.
Any discussion? Go ahead, Mr. Waters.
Please, no offense by all means. If this can be reworded, we experienced past 5 years by giving somebody something out, like this is supposed to have been like 10 years or more. We had turned around and made compensation for 2 different people, and we had set a precedent. So the president now, if I would like to see this reworded somehow for you to get this, but I can't see us getting down the road and somebody else comes along, well, you gave it to Captain Fred. I want the same thing. You know, and this is what this is what happened to us, which I feel it's not fair to us. To you, what you want, I agree, but there's got to be some different type of wording in this so we can do that without somebody coming back and saying, well, you set a precedent for Captain Fred. That's,
Well, I know with the union, see, I'm a non-union member, so with the union members, that's in their contract.
Mr. Mayor,
I don't have a
if I
contract.
may.
Sure.
So you got the cover letter that I wrote, okay? First of all, I want to agree with the chief. The fact is that he's a non-bargaining member, and therefore, no precedent with a union member would be set. Their specifics are outlined in their CBA, and it would take negotiations to change it. So this body is at liberty to go ahead and agree or not agree with the request, which I support.
What's the union payout, and how many years for them in their police collective bargaining agreement?
10.
10. And for our other non-exempt employees, they follow whatever their equivalent union is, like the librarian follows the librarian, okay. And do any of those bargaining units have sick time payouts?
All the CBAs have sick time
Are they at the 25% rate as well, or are they at high?
all are at the 25% rate.
Mr. Waters, to address that concern, perhaps the way we can pass this is by saying, or having a motion that in light of his perfect attendance record, and doing it with that as the framing device, because I think that is an exemplary achievement to, obviously if you're sick, I want people to use their sick time, and not come to work sick, but in light of the fact that you haven't used any of your sick time, I think that's a good qualifier to avoid creating a precedent. And then if we have another director down the line that has never taken a sick day and we think that they've done it out, that it would be the bar that we're setting is, this person has gone above and beyond, and they're superhuman apparently. Because some of those years were COVID.
I'm not superhuman, but, it's like, with the town manager, my job, I have a lot of responsibility, and I expect me to be there every day.
I appreciate that.
Unless I'm on vacation.
If I may, I would like to thank the mayor for putting those words in perspective where you get it, but not with that wording, because I'm just leery of that, that's all.
Understood, no, understood.
But I agree with what you were saying, sir.
So is there any other discussion before I propose a motion on it? If we want to, if somebody wants to make a motion to approve the following, in light of the chief of police's tenure with the town and not using any of his accrued sick leave, the town council would like to approve a partial payout of 25% of his accumulated unused sick time. I think
Make a
that would be a way to frame it that doesn't set a precedent.
I'll make a motion.
Motion made.
Second.
Second by Jack. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Next is item 2.
Oh, excuse me.
Uh-oh. Do you feel sick suddenly, chief?
No.
Well, like I said, you have a few more months left, and then there'll be future council meetings I will be attending, and I will be saying more as we get closer.
I'll get you a copy.
Phony one, but I'll just,
Problem is, I thought he was gonna shred it on me too, so.
thank you, Fred.
Thank you. Thank you, chief. And we look forward to celebrating your retirement together in the future. Next, we'll move on to item M2, the dissolving of the LGBTQ committee. You know, this committee was started back in, I believe, 2019 under Mayor Faenza, and it was unanimously supported by the bipartisan town council. I served as the first liaison to that committee, and as, you know, an openly LGBT elected official, you know, I felt the commission was really important. We just struggled to have consistent attendance at our meetings, and the committee chair and the committee leadership felt that they couldn't keep doing everything without having an actual committee working with them other than just the chair and the vice chair. So they sought to have it dissolved, and with regrets, I put it on tonight's agenda. I am hopeful and optimistic that the Lions nonprofit group will be able to take some of the work, and some of the DEI commission work may be able to cover its mission, but I'll take a motion to dissolve the LGBTQ committee.
Motion approved.
Motion made by Al. Second by Paula. Any further discussion on that? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstention, motion carries. And again, to the public that's out there, should you ever feel like you want to restart that committee and be really excited about restarting that committee and want to volunteer your time to restart a committee, we are very happy to restart committees here. But with that, we'll move on. We received a notice from our town clerk that we need to set our meeting dates for the 2026 calendar year, and that we need to do so within the next 30 days. So in your packet, we have a proposal for the meeting dates for the for 2026. I hope everyone's had a chance to review them. Do those days look all more or less agreeable to everybody? Are we avoiding all holidays? I know, I think last year we had an issue where one of the days was a Jewish holiday. Have we checked to make sure that none of these are Jewish holidays that maybe while the town isn't closed for, but I want to make sure we're being respectful? They're all good? Okay. Then I'll accept a motion to accept the town meeting dates as proposed in the memo in our packet.
So moved to accept the town meeting dates. Second.
Made by Jack, second by Al. Any further discussion on those? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. We will now move to item N1 and N2, which is our special meeting minutes and regular meeting minutes. Any edits or amendments to that? Hearing none, I'll accept a motion to approve the minutes of October 8th for the special meeting. We'll start there. All those in favor of approving the special meeting minutes, I need a motion and a second to accept.
Motion approved.
Motion to approve, second by Jack. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Opposed, abstention, motion carries unanimously. Now the regular meeting, October 8th, 2025, regular meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to approve those? Moved by Julia. Second by Paula. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Now, we do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 appointments.
Vote on them all at once.
If there are no objections, by the board, I'll accept a motion to approve all 8 of them. With with the amendment of Rosanna as an alternate. Moved by Julia, second by Jack. Any further discussion on that? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Item 2A, Kelly Salami is going to resign from the Cultural District Commission as the chairperson. She has done, again, an outstanding job with the presentation. I am blown away by the level of detail and work that she's done to highlight Cromwell's businesses, but I will accept her resignation with regrets, if somebody would like to make that motion. Made by Paula, with regret. Jack, with regret as well, Jack, or just a regular?
Absolutely.
Okay, there you go. Motion made, both with regrets. All those in any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Opposed, abstention, motion carries. And then finally, removal of traffic signals on Route 9. I think we got the status schedule earlier. Tony, is there anything you'd like to add? Any other informational items from the counselors on anything that's happening in town, charitable events or otherwise that they want to let the public be aware of?
December 13th, we'll have the winter farmers market here in the town hall.
I will be unfortunately not being able to join that. That is my 1 year wedding anniversary, so. No, I'm not going to Disney this time. No, I'm going to go see a show with my husband for our anniversary. So I can't skip that. I'm sorry. That's a non-negotiable. I'm trying to think if there's any events coming up. The mayor's tree lighting. You should have all seen a invitation for that. It is the first Saturday in December. Scott and his team are busy at work for that. And I think that's the only thing I can think of right now.
I will be away for that. I won't be able to attend.
I'll pull one bulb out of the tree for you to put in when you get back.
Thank you. You're gonna miss me, Tony. No, I'm gonna be up north at a wedding.
It's on the town memorial green outside of the police department and the fire department on the intersection of Main Street, South Perk Place, and West Street. Yeah.
Yeah, I think as Ann noted, we should probably cancel it, right? Shouldn't we? If she can't make it, it should be a different day.
As I was running by, of course, again, the sign, the controversial sign in front of the new middle school is operational.
You know what? And I'm gonna make an announcement as well. The high school sign, which was unoperational for almost forever, for years and years, it seemed like, and myself and my wife went and complained to the superintendent, probably 4 or 5 times, and for whatever the reason, she was unsure of the situation. Anyway, it's been fixed. There are actually different names on there and different events, so I think the sign at the high school is in good order, at least right now.
Julia, how does the middle school sign
It
look?
looks beautiful. It was, I can't remember what it was saying. It was advertising somebody coming to town, so, yeah.
It does look, it is beautiful.
I managed to pull up my calendar, so I actually have a couple things. Their AARP grant celebration for the ADA Accessible Veterans Bench and the Green is tomorrow. From 2 to 5. Attlebrook is having its 125th anniversary gala this weekend at the TPC River Highlands.
Are you going to? My law firm has a table, so I'm going.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will, TBD. I have forgotten to ask my husband if we're doing anything Saturday night, so.
I have to tell my husband he's gotta wear a jacket and tie.
Ooh, I don't envy you. There's also a ribbon cutting for Wagging Tail's Pet Store next Thursday as well, and those are my announcements. Otherwise, if there's nothing else, I hope you all have a,
James?
yep.
Do you want us, if we can make it, in the Belden Room tomorrow at 2:30?
I would love everyone to come to the Belden Room tomorrow at 2:30 to celebrate AARP.
If I may, I know last year, with the Mattabasset, there was requirements set that they, inform the mayor quarterly on reports of what they're doing for anything, upgrading, et cetera. And I would like to have a report on that, if possible, for the correspondence between the mayor and the, Mattabasset director, if possible, please.
I will look to see what we've received, and if we haven't received anything, we'll send a letter to them. Absolutely. Okay, hearing nothing else, can I have a motion to adjourn at 8:40? 8:40. Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn? I don't have a motion yet. Okay, Al? Second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of adjourning, say aye. Aye. Opposed, abstention, motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you. Have a happy Thanksgiving, everyone.